All right, we're going to get started. If everyone will take your seat. I have never had to move a microphone up before in my life. It's crazy. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the second annual Findlay ACES Awards. These are presented by the Traces Foundation, hosted by the Mojave Valley Daily News. So at this time, I would like to bring up our Vice Mayor, Steve D'Amico, and Chaplain and City Councilwoman, Annette Wegman. Annette will be doing the invocation, and then, so please rise for that, and then we will also be doing, Steve will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
First, congratulations to all our finalists, and thank you to the ACE Awards Committee. If you guys would all please bow your heads. Dear Lord, we gather here tonight to reflect upon the talents you have given us and that we have enjoyed throughout the year. We ask you to continue to give blessings to our principals, our teachers, our counselors, our coaches, and all our families and friends as they continue their journey in life. Help us, Lord, to remember that it is our responsibility to use the divine gifts you have given us. Teach us what it means to be real winners in your eyes, because real winners have learned to always do their best. Real winners have learned not to quit. Real winners have learned not to blame others. Real winners have respect for their friends, their coaches, their teachers, their counselors, their principals, their mentors, and most importantly, themselves. Real winners have learned that God is the one who gave them their abilities. We thank you for all our blessings, and may you continue to guide us in the right direction, your direction. May you continue to keep us safe, keep us healthy, free from injury and free from harm. Let us know what it is that you want us to do for you, O Lord. We ask this in your name, our Lord, our Savior, Jesus Christ. On three, can I please get an amen? 1, 2, 3.
Amen.
Thank you.
Thank you, Annette. I was looking for a flag in here. I guess our flag is outside, so we'll face this way. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance to our flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please be seated. Thank you. I just wrote a real short speech here. Bear with me. I can't understand my own writing, but I'm going to do my best. Youth sports is arguably the greatest character builder for our children. Kids learn responsibility and accountability. They experience success and failure and how to deal with both. They are forced to collaborate and listen to their instructors and show both sportsmanship and leadership. Today we recognize these young men and women, our future leaders, and I want them to know that Bullhead City and the tri-state area as a whole are proud of them and their accomplishments. We must also acknowledge the parents of these young men and women. Mothers, fathers, and family members spend countless hours supporting their kids in sports. Many times parents are just getting off work and headed straight to their practice, a lot of times to their games, sometimes halfway across the state, sometimes even out of state. Not to mention the cost of these parents accrue supporting these kids in sports. So at this time, can we give a round of applause for all the wonderful parents here? Also, we cannot forget our coaches, assistants, and volunteers who spend countless hours off and on the field and/or gymnasiums, teaching, coaching, and mentoring our youth, most of the time for little or no compensation. They do what they do because they have passion for our children and our community, and I want to thank them and give them a round of applause also. I'd also like to thank Traces for presenting this event, the Mojave Valley Daily News for hosting this event, and the numerous sponsors we have throughout the year, not only for this event, for all the sports activities we have. I'd also like to recognize our local governments for supporting our local athletes by continuously improving our fields and infrastructure, which gives these kids a better opportunity to succeed. And lastly, I'm glad I got called upon to give a small speech and not to be a judge for tonight's awards, as we have an unbelievable talent pool this year. And you are all winners in my book. So thank you all so much.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm used to, pulling the microphone down to me. That's more like it. All right, we got, thank you, Steve and Annette, appreciate it. We have several dignitaries here tonight, as you've already seen. We have Vice Mayor Steve D'Amico and City Council Member Annette Wegman. Joining her, we have Norma Brummett. Councilwoman Grace Hecht. Ready for this one? And our newest City Council Member, Juan Lizarraga. Also, way back over there at the Mojave Valley Daily News table is our crushed board president, Carrie Fearing. Okay, so the ACES, or the Athletic, Community, and Education Stars Awards, is the brainchild of Findlay and the Mojave Valley Daily News. It's 2 years old. The idea was twofold. First of all, to recognize, thank, and publicize those student athletes, educators, organizations, and coaches who work so hard daily to help our students and athletes of the community. And two, to begin to build a fund to help those young people in our community who need help financially to be able to participate in sports. Well, in our second year, I can tell you that the fund is not only building, but is being used on the daily. In fact, a young man was awarded a scholarship this morning from the fund to play youth football this year, a young man who otherwise couldn't afford it. All right, so I'm gonna go through the process real quick of how this works for those of you who didn't know or how it worked. We send out a nomination form to all the high schools, and we ask them to nominate in these 10 different categories anybody that they think fits into these categories. And we got inundated with nominations. Some of them we narrow down, some of them we send back to the ADs and say, all right, here's the 15 people from your school, I need you to narrow it down to 3. We got 3 from each of the 3 high schools here in Bullhead and Mojave Valley. And then we, as a committee, and Larry will go over the committee here in a minute, went down and interviewed all of them. And then we narrowed it down from there. We had a late, sometimes contentious meeting where we decided who the top 3 were, and those are the 3 that are here tonight in each category. And we also figured out who the winner was, and that's where the contentious part got in. Some of those got, I don't know, unfriendly? Is that a pleasant enough word? And just like the Vice Mayor said, it was very, very, very difficult just to get down to those top 3, let alone pick who the winner is. So all of the finalists need to be congratulated, not just the winners. So, all right, I would now like to bring up Shane Pollock of Findlay and Larry Kendrick, the General Manager of the Mojave Valley Daily News and President of the Traces Foundation. Larry Kendrick.
Thank you. I had a 30-minute speech, but John acted like my editor and decided to cut it down to 5 or 10, so bear with me with that one.
5, not 5 or 10, 5.
5. Good luck with that one. First of all, thank you, everyone. Of course, this is our second year of the ACE Awards. We talked last year about making this a nonprofit so that we could do things for the youth in our community. Well, it happened very fast. October of 21, we officially became a nonprofit. With the help of many in the community, I will name one, Nancy Monjo. First of all, thank you, Nancy. Nancy was vital in making sure we took the right steps, did it right, and she also helped me put a good board together, I'm not gonna lie. So, from there, it quickly came quickly. We had a lot of support from the community. We put together 2 golf tournaments in a matter of 5 months. And we raised over $30,000 for our kids. That couldn't happen without people, committees helping. Another gentleman that helped with that tremendously is Gary Reynolds. Gary doesn't only run our golf tournaments, he runs 80% of them in this town that all of the fundraisers are built upon. So Gary's, I appreciate it, Gary. What you do for this community cannot be replaced. Thank you. Our sponsors. Last year we got the start of this. We had 5 sponsors. I will name them first. We had Findlay, Southwest Gas, MCC, DOT, and the Mojave Daily News. Without those, we couldn't have got this off the ground. This year, we had more sponsors than we knew what to do with, because everybody went on board. This year, we also have Tri-State AC Hero. Thank you, guys. Anderson Ford, Bullhead City. Fontenot Law, Legacy Foundation, and Foothills Bank. Thank you all. I couldn't do this, we can't do this without a committee, and we have one hell of a committee, I will tell you. They have worked their butts off since, I would say, December. We started on this, and I want to recognize all of them as well. Of course, you got John here, my editor here, that cut me down. Carrie Faring, Nancy Novak, Connor Witt, and Chris Higa from the Mojave Daily News. Shane Pollock, Lisa Breen, and Christy Propp from Findlay, and Danielle Fontenot from Traces Board and Fontenot Law. So thank you guys. You did it. You made my job easy for this, so I appreciate that.
You're welcome. Yeah, you're over already.
I'd like to bring up my board of directors, okay? This is the group that is going to make a lot of things happen for this community and for our kids. Danielle Giddings, come on up, please. This is my vice president. If she doesn't cry tonight, something's gone wrong, because I can tell you during this whole process, she had to fight back the tears when we did all these interviews. She wasn't alone. We all got a little choked up. I'll let you talk. Paul Boyle is our treasurer. He could not make it tonight, unfortunately. Carrie Faring, our secretary. Mitch Mulcahy, come on up from Heat Wave CrossFit. Matt Curtis from Anderson Ford. And Tony Smith from Findlay. You can expect great things from us, and I'm pretty sure this group can deliver. We've got a couple other things in plan for this year already. I believe it's August 19th. August 19th, we're going to do a bingo night at Anderson Ford to continue generating revenue. And we're in the early process of potentially having a football youth camp here. So stay on Facebook, look at our website, keep up with this. This is some of the stuff we want to do. We want everyone to be involved. Do I have any more time? Are you good?
No, you're way over. Go ahead. I'm not Pioneer. I don't cut you short, so.
In short, I want to thank my board. Again, they make my job easy. The committee themselves. Thank all the parents, coaches. You guys do an amazing job. It's our pleasure just to be able to interview you guys and actually put this in for you. So thank you.
Shane Pollock.
John. Well, guys, luckily I'm the one who spoke last, so I think we've thanked pretty much everybody. I want to thank my team, the Findlay team, because I get to run around and do all this stuff, support you guys, meet all these great kids, and I can't do it without those guys. So I'd like to thank you guys for that. And I would also like to point out, and again, this is on the premise that I think we thanked everybody, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so to all the people who are nominated, look at all the people that came out for you. This town has been fantastic. We've gone out and, you know, you hear things, you hear the good, the bad, the ugly, and I'll tell you, we got a great future in this town. The kids out here are great, the community coming out and supporting, all the sponsors and everything else. And I would like you guys to take a second, look around, all the people who came out for you. And I would just like to say thank you because it makes my job very special.
I will. All right, you're gonna get, I had to lower it again. So Shane and Larry both be up later. Again, handing out awards. We ready to get going, Lisa? You set? All right. You guys ready? Should we start this thing? All right, a couple things. When we call your name as nominees, please stand up so everyone can see who you are. And then also at the end of the night, you saw our ACES backdrop out there. We're going to be out there taking pictures. Is it Connor? Is it going to be you or? All right, somebody will be out there taking pictures. So please stop and get your picture taken. All right, so the first one we're going to start out with is Community Youth Organization of the Year, Danielle Fontenot. If you will come up. Danielle Fontenot's Law is the sponsor of it. So the Community Youth Organization of the Year is our opportunity to recognize those organizations in the community who help our young people to get started in their athletic careers. We have many, many organizations in the community who do a fantastic job of teaching, coaching, and helping our youth develop not only athletically, but showing them the way to being better people through mentorship. It was a difficult decision, of course. You're probably going to hear that a bunch of times tonight, but the finalists for the Findlay ACES Community Youth Organization of the Year are Insanity Softball, Needles Basketball, and the Mojave Valley Little League. All right, and it's my honor. The Community Youth Organization of the Year is the Mojave Valley Little League.
I made a speech, just in case. 2 minutes. Thank you.
Climb up here, guys.
Thank you very much. This is quite the honor. I wrote a little speech, just in case. I actually woke up this morning and I thought, holy heck, what if we win? I don't have anything prepared. So a panic came over me a brief second and I thought, I'm the last person to talk about baseball, let alone Little League. I haven't even been president of the board for a year. Someone else needs to do this. So I paused. I started to think about this award and what it truly means. The Community Youth Organization of the Year. It has a nice ring to it. Community. There is no power for change greater than a community discovering what it cares about. Margaret J. Wheatley. The word community has a strange power to it. It conveys a sense of togetherness and positivity. It speaks of both solidarity and homeliness. A community is a group of people who share an identity-forming narrative. They share a story that is so important to them that it defines an aspect of who they truly are. They build their shared story of their community into their sense of self. They build the history of their community into their own personal history, and they see the world through the lens of their story. It's a choice to participate in making and remaking these stories. Mojave Valley Little League is a community within a community. Our players know they are part of something big. They know how important they are for not just our league, but also our community. We are not just teaching our littles to become better athletes. We're helping them to become better people. And better people are the foundation of a good community. You want to hold this? Do you want to hold this?
No, I don't want to.
Okay. Great. They learn life lessons that will stay with them for as long as they can remember, and I really hope they remember forever. When they learn about respect and teamwork, they carry those lessons into their classrooms and their homes. When they learn about enthusiasm and integrity, they're not just learning how to play a sport. They're learning that encouraging others and doing the right thing is just as important as excelling in a sport and winning a championship. They're learning the importance of being involved, the importance of how powerful community is. On behalf of Mojave Valley Little League, all our board members, coaches, players, and parents, we are truly honored to be receiving this award, and we are forever grateful for the support of our local community. Thank you.
All right, next up we have the School Student Organization of the Year. Is Terry Tomlinson here? As you probably know, Terry is with the Legacy Foundation. Legacy is the sponsor of this. The School Student Organization of the Year Award was created to recognize those school organizations that do so much to advance the development of our students into good citizens. Many are involved in charitable events, focusing thousands of hours on volunteer work, while others are established to help our students succeed as adults and college students. Again, we had many, many nominations from the schools and had a difficult time narrowing it down to the top 3. Our finalists for the Findlay ACES School Student Organization of the Year are River Valley Skills USA, Mojave's FCCLA, and Malk's Key Club. And the School Student Organization of the Year is Mojave's FCCLA.
Okay, sorry, I'm really nervous. I'm just gonna have everyone introduce themselves real quick. So I'm Hannah Lindecker, and I'm a junior at Mojave High School.
I'm Kimmy Clark, and I just graduated.
I'm Riya Jackson, and I also just graduated.
I'm Riya Clark, and I'm a sophomore.
I'm Charisma Sylvester, and I also just graduated.
I'm Rachel Barton, and I am a sophomore. On behalf of Mojave High School's FCCLA Early Childhood Chapter, we are so honored to be here among so many amazing finalists. We want to thank Ms. Cover, our CTE director, and all Mojave High School administration. We also want to especially thank our advisors, Ms. Michelle Lindecker and Mr. Richard Lindecker, for always believing in us and helping us shape us into the leaders we are today. Thank you.
All right, next up we have the Team of the Year. Team of the Year is sponsored by Mojave Community College. The Team of the Year speaks for itself. It's not necessarily the team who had the most wins or the biggest wins, or even the team that went the furthest in the playoffs. It's a team that exemplified what it means to be a team. There were so many deserving of this award. We want to congratulate those teams who were nominated but didn't make it into the final 3, as well as our finalists. And those finalists are Mojave Boys Soccer, River Valley Softball, hey, that's like the whole team, isn't it, Shane? Good Lord. and Melk boys basketball. And the team of the year is your state champion Melk boys basketball team. You're not gonna let Banks talk, are you?
Hello. I guess I was the one they would like to speak, so thank you guys for that. I believe we also won this one last year, so it's an honor to go back to back for this. This group of boys right here, they mean to me more than a lot of friends mean to a lot of people. I've been playing with these guys since 6th and 7th grade, and it's an honor to be able to win a state championship with them. Last year we made to the state championship and were runners-up, and this year that was our one goal, is of course to win the state championship, and we were able to do it. So congratulations everyone, and thank you.
Tyson Banks took a step towards that microphone. I was going to tackle him. All right, next up is the Journalism Award. It's sponsored by the Mojave Valley Daily News. We have Carrie Faring is going to be.
Okay. The Journalism Award was created to recognize those students who have shown an aptitude for journalism, whether it be print, digital, or video. We are looking for those students who bring a passion to journalism and are the bridge to what journalism will look like in the future. Who knows? Maybe one of these will be working at the newspaper one day. Our finalists for the Findlay ACES Journalism Award are Gabe Valaire, Mojave High School; Samantha Adams, River Valley High School; Samantha Adams, River Valley High School. And then, why are you not, what's happening? Mojave, not River Valley. Well, it says on my paper, River Valley. Okay, we're gonna move on to Ethan Frome from Mojave High School. And the winner of this year's ACES Award for the journalism goes to Ethan Frome.
So firstly, I just wanted to thank all of the sponsors that made this event possible. I want to thank all of my advisors that pushed me to learn all of what I've learned and what I've done, namely Mr. Michael Jackson, Mr. Jared White, Mr. James McNutt, Ed Catalfamo, and personally I want to thank Delana Fitzgerald and Caden Fitzgerald.
Next up is the Educator of the Year Award. To present it, it's sponsored by Tri-State AC Hero. We have Rusty Dubois, who's the owner, and his mouthpiece, Clayton Parker. All right. Educator of the Year is a special award. With all that teachers have had to deal with over the past couple of years, the normally difficult job of educating our youth has gotten even more difficult. But during interviews, we heard over and over again about how teachers have dealt with it with the same passion and drive that brought them to this noble profession to start with. It was so difficult that it's the only category tonight where we were only able to narrow it down to 4. That's as far as we got. I told you it was contentious, right?
I had to make sure that I stepped at the podium and raised the microphone above John. That's rule number 1. On behalf of Tri-State AC Hero, it's our privilege to present the award for Educator of the Year. This award is very near and dear to our heart, as Brandy Dubois, Rusty's wife, and our other owner, is a former local educator. Before we announce the nominees, we'd like you to ask your help in thanking all of the local educators and staff that shape the kids' future in our community. Let's give them a round of applause. Picking one of them as Educator of the Year is a daunting task. I really don't envy the people that had to make that decision, as there are so many deserving candidates, which is the reason there are 4 finalists for this particular category. And the finalists are Adam King, Mojave High School. Michelle Leyendecker, Mojave High School. Kevin Green, Mojave High School. And Curtis Nielsen, River Valley High School. And it's my honor to announce that the Educator of the Year is Michelle Leyendecker, Mojave High School.
Well, clearly, if you can't tell, no, I'm not Michelle. I don't match the picture. Michelle could not be here tonight. She really wanted to be, but she's still working. Preschool graduation was tonight, and that's near and dear to her heart, and that's where she's at. But it was an honor for her to be nominated, and I know she truly appreciated that alone. So the winning is just a bonus. So thank you.
You didn't have to raise it up. It's right in the exact same lyre. All right, next up we have Coach of the Year. Please welcome Matt Curtis from Anderson Ford. Similar to the organizations of the year and the Educator of the Year, the Coach of the Year is our opportunity to recognize those people who have a significant impact on our student athletes' lives. Those of us who have been in athletics could, at the drop of a hat, talk at length about a coach who had a significant impact not only on their athletic career, but also pushed them to be better students and citizens. But while we certainly owe a lot to these people, the thing that struck me during the interviews was the passion they all bring to coaching our student athletes.
So this one is very close to me. I've been a long-time coach. I've coached at the youth level, started American youth football in the state of California. I was the USA football camp director for the state of California. Coached at the college level and the high school level, and played at the NFL level. I own a company called Camp Victory, and my motto there when I'm working with kids, and I put it on to all my coaches as I coached with Glacier clinics. Our motto is, if we don't take the time to teach them something positive, somebody will take the time to teach them something negative. I've printed it on shirts at all of my camps. And we think about that for a minute. You think, Shane, I want to give you an applause, man. We were just talking outside, and the amount of time that you've committed to the current Mojave High School football team since the youth program, and to keep those kids together and still playing, is phenomenal. The amount of kids that come and try a sport for a year or two and then it fizzles out and they leave, 90% of the time it's because of a coach. Something I tell people is, you always remember the good coaches that you've had. You take that on with you, and they're the ones you talk about. But deep down where we don't talk about, we remember the ones we don't like. We remember the ones that made us feel bad as athletes, that put us down. So to be nominated as a Coach of the Year is huge. I mean, this is a group of your peers that think you did the job right. You're obviously respected within the community, within the coaching community, within the people in the schools, at the schools. You're right, it's not about winning and losing. It's about who actually came, who taught these kids, who mentored these kids, and who's giving these kids life lessons to take on with them. So the finalists for the Findlay ACES Coach of the Year are Matt Camacho, Mojave Boys Soccer. Shanda Weiler of Mount, softball. And Scott Neal, Mount boys basketball. And the very well-deserved Coach of the Year goes to Scott Neal, Mount boys basketball.
Well, I didn't really write anything because I wanted to see what came from here instead of here tonight. So let's see what happens. When my family and I moved here 10 years ago from Michigan, one of the first things we did was put the boys and girls club basketball, and we saw that there was a need for coaching, so I signed up for it. And at that time, I got to feel what it was like to be around the kids and the youth of this community. And I loved what I saw, so I kept in it. I stayed in that for a little while until the kids got into middle school, the ones that I started becoming close to. And I decided to jump out of the Boys and Girls Club realm into middle school basketball. And continued to be around just an incredible group of people. You know, when you're in coaching, every once in a while, if you're around it long enough, you are able to be near some things that are very special. And for me, we had a group of kids on our roster. You know, we had one or two maybe would be a great success to have as a group that would be successful. Well, I had a whole team of them. Every once in a while, you're around long enough in coaching, you might have an administrator, athletic director, or a superintendent that would support you. I had a whole school of them. Every once in a while, you might have a group of civic organizations, businesses, and people in the community that support you as a team. Well, we had a whole town of them. And every once in a while, you are around a group of people in a community that support you like we had. Well, I live in that town. And there's nothing that I will take away more from this year is what those kids in this community gave to me, more so than what I ever gave to them. And I will always remember that. Thank you.
So one more year, Scott? Scott, one more year? No. What? We'll talk about it later. All right, next up is the Leadership Award. The Leadership Award is sponsored by Dot Foods. Yeah, woo, Dot Foods. Fun. Leadership can take many forms. We met with leaders of their teams, leaders of their classes, and leaders of organizations. We had those who led by example and those who have led by motivating and teaching their teammates or schoolmates. This one, again, was one of the most difficult categories when it came down to it. Not only selecting a winner, but even just narrowing it down to just 3 finalists. If you had given us 6 finalists, it would have been equally hard. I can tell you that after our interviews were done, several of us were happy to see that our future with these young people is in good hands. So, the finalists for the Findlay ACES Leadership Award are, please don't butcher this, Caitlin Easy, Gabe Valer. And Shelby Anderson. And the Leadership Award goes to Caitlin Easy. It's pretty heavy. You think you can handle it?
I just want to say thank you to everyone, who puts this event together today, and for all the sponsors, and congratulations to all the other finalists. You guys obviously are doing amazing in this community. I just want to give a big thank you to this community for always supporting me, especially Grace, thank you. And a big thank you to the people who shaped me today, which is my parents and Mrs. Sessions. So thank you, everyone.
Now we're flying along, Larry. You want to take an intermission? Take a break? No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Nobody does.
Not funny, John.
The Scholar Athlete of the Year Award is sponsored by Southwest Gas. Shane? Shane, for those who haven't heard, Shane has been traded from Findlay to Southwest Gas.
I got traded for a vending machine and wasn't much, huh? So Aaron wasn't able to be here today. I believe he's actually out at his son's last Mojave Valley Little League game. Is that correct? So this is your fault? You couldn't schedule this better? Okay. So luckily, he's a very organized, sharp guy, and he wrote me a little something. So he even wrote in the unfortunately Aaron is not able to make it tonight. So, and he's currently coaching. So I already got half this thing done. So what is the role of a scholar athlete? Scholar athletes learn valuable practical skills such as sportsmanship, time management, verbal communication with adults and peers, and interaction and coordination in diverse groups. Their athletic endeavors enrich and augment the education they receive inside the classroom. All three candidates for this award tonight have shown what it means to be a great scholar athlete. Although this decision was extremely difficult, one scholar athlete showed to be an exemplary scholar, and to be an exemplary scholar athlete means you have unwavering determination and are ready to work hard. It means you have or are willing to develop the necessary traits to help you achieve your goals daily, weekly, monthly, and yearly. And so the Scholar Athlete of the Award goes to... Oh, I apologize. He didn't write that down. I was reading like the teleprompter guy, so... I'm going to have to tell him he didn't do his job very well, so... Where are we at here, John?
Right there where it says finalists.
All right. For the Findlay, I got the Findlay part right, so I haven't fully transferred to Southwest Gas here. ACES Scholar Athlete of the Year are Gabe Valer, Rusty Glenn, and Logan Burgess. And since nobody wants to build up any suspense here, I'll take a little time while you guys wait and tell you that this was another one that came down to the interviews. All three of them absolutely spectacular. They did amazing things in their own right. We are very excited to announce that our Scholar Athlete of the Year is Gabe Valer. Congratulations.
All right. This has caught me by surprise. I want to thank my team, my coach, although he's leaving off to Phoenix, Mr. Drexler, the greatest coach a kid could ask for. I want to thank my family, friends. I want to thank Logan Burgess especially. I used to play soccer actually before I went pro in basketball with some of the Rio guys, and those guys are best friends and teammates of mine forever. So I just want to thank everybody that's helped me along this way. Thank you.
All right, before we get to our final two awards, we have a special award we want to give out right now. Can I please get Mr. Kevin Green, Mr. Adam King, and Rachel Yoni from Foothills Bank to come up here. We have a special, for the first time, a Lifetime Achievement Award. It is sponsored by Foothills Bank. So let's start with Mr. King, Adam King.
I first want to thank Findlay and the ACES Awards Committee. Anytime members of a community get together to honor impressive students and educational organizations, it's a special occasion. That becomes even more special when a true legend of education is preparing to embark on the next phase of their life, the myth of retirement. This evening would not be complete, would not be true to the very core values it represents if we did not recognize the one and only Mr. Kevin Green for his years of serving our community in the most powerful way possible. As a teacher at Mojave High School, I can tell you, it has been an absolute honor and privilege to work with Mr. Green. Some of you in this very room had Mr. Green as a teacher yourself. I wasn't that lucky. I do, however, remember an instance that Mr. Green has probably forgotten, but I haven't and never will. I was a teacher at Bullhead City Junior High, and our department was brought in for a collaboration with teachers from Mojave High School. I, being a young, know-everything hotshot, shared my thoughts and expectations with the group. The only other teacher that engaged me in conversation and jokes was Mr. Green. Everyone else was, like you, quiet. At the time, my veteran teacher in my department was Tony Diaz. When we got back to our school, Mr. Diaz shared with me how big of a deal it was that the legend, Mr. Green, seemed to not only enjoy our conversation, but was impressed with me. You, sir, never knew it then, but you had already made an impact on me. 2 years later, I was privileged to call you a colleague. Over the past 7 years, I have come to know what others already knew and what I felt on that day so long ago. That you matter to the people that came before me, you matter to the people at our school now, and you will continue to have a legacy at our school that lasts for years to come. In a world where 50% of our teachers are lasting less than 5 years in the classroom, you, sir, are the gold standard. I, speaking on behalf of everyone that has known you as a teacher at Mojave High School, would like to thank you for setting the standard that we all aspire to reach. Congratulations, Mr. Green, on the ACES' first ever Lifetime Achievement Award. I hope retirement treats you as well as you've treated the profession.
This is tough, especially in front of so many former students of all ages. I think I can safely say that whether or not it's an athlete on the field, a coach on the sidelines, a student in a chair, or a teacher at the front of the classroom, we all strive for success. And perhaps the most wonderful thing is that when we achieve even a shadow of that success, it spills over not just for ourselves, but others nearby, our classmates, our peers. And I suppose that's the biggest thank you I could frame. So thank you very much.
Yes, you know, you couldn't have said it better, Adam. Such a tremendous award, you know, and it's such a beautiful thing to see someone spend so much time and love and energy that you poured into our community. Those children are our future, and we can't thank you enough for everything you've done for them and just being that constant. So thank you so much for everything. Foothills thanks you. I know our community does. Thank you so much. Thank you.
All right, our final two awards are the Female Student Athlete of the Year and the Male Student Athlete of the Year. These are both sponsored by Findlay, so please welcome Shane again. He's been traded back.
You guys are welcome. We're still going to discuss that. Well, guys, this is kind of the award that kick-started it all. You know, we had, in years past, tried to find ways to recognize people. We had seen so many amazing kids come through here and, in our eyes, not get enough recognition. And I'm very honored to say that we are going to recognize a lot of great kids tonight, but our Male and Female Athlete of the Year. So. Is this all for me, John? You want me to read all this?
Right here.
Did you write all this?
Yes, I wrote all this.
What are you, a writer or something? Was. As opposed to the Scholar Athlete of the Year, these awards are based on athletic achievement while maintaining a high GPA. We had some amazing performances this year. They should all be congratulated. How about a round of applause for all of our nominees? For the Female Athlete of the Year, there are 23 nominees. For the Male Athlete of the Year, there are 27 nominees. Those were pared down to 6, and then with interviews, down to 3. And I will tell you, Danielle, it was emotional. That picture we keep popping up there is all in fun, but it was really, really hard to judge, you know, kids in such different things. You know, you got a kid that wrestles versus a kid that plays volleyball or a kid that does what. It's so hard to really compare, and it really, again, comes down to the interviews. Every kid who was nominated, not even just the finalists, had outstanding athletic achievement. So to those 3 who made it this far, you are the best of the best, and we absolutely enjoyed interviewing you guys. So congratulations again. Now, that being said, the finalists for the Findlay ACES Female Student Athlete of the Year are Karina Pulu, who always has very nice toes. If you saw she was our last athlete of the week. She was very proud of her toes. Peyton Welt, Mojave Wrestling, track and field. And I see you sat back down there. Why don't you stand up for a quick second? Very cool that you are the state champion of wrestling. So I don't know if everyone is aware of that. And Riya Jackson from Mojave High School for soccer and volleyball. The Female Student Athlete of the Year is Riya Jackson. Requires a long speech.
Yeah, definitely don't.
Congratulations.
I'm not so sure where they got that picture from, but I don't have a speech, but I just wanted to say thank you to everyone, my coaches, Kelly and Alex, my parents, teammates, peers, and everyone who's helped me get to where I am today. So thank you, everyone.
Another thing we noticed from a lot of these is everyone is very humble. A lot of these guys are going off to play sports in college. They received a lot of achievement and recognition in their own fields, whether it be regional or even achievement, like I said, a state champion. So all of them should brag a little bit more. It makes the Athlete of the Week nominees easier for me to do. So if you guys could, I'd appreciate it. So we had 27 nominees for Male Athlete of the Year, narrowed it down to these 3. The finalists for the Findlay ACES Male Student Athlete of the Year, Michael Doolin, River Valley Wrestling, Football, and track. Which, Doolin, did our video go out today, do you know? Yeah, it did. When you took second in state, great job, young man. Yair Cerro, Mojave football, soccer, and I believe baseball. And Aiden Honiger, Mount football and basketball. And again, these guys all had outstanding athletic achievement, as did many others. And we came down to these interviews, and it was very hotly contested for a variety of reasons. And I would say that this was maybe the toughest one we did.
Yeah, I don't even want to talk about it.
Look, John didn't want to talk about it at the time. But I'll tell you, coming down when everyone is equally deserving and the interviews are so important, and the one thing I would say is that these guys were very humble. They were all extremely gracious, and even when they interviewed, they may have had a teammate who was also nominated from their school, and almost every one of them would have been just as happy to see their teammate win as themselves. So that is absolutely outstanding. So congratulations, guys. And the male student athlete of the year is Yair Cerro. Sir, congratulations to you. Long speech.
I just want to start off by thanking my parents, my family, friends, my coaches, Coach Shane, Coach Pondo, Coach Olvera, and Coach Camacho. Without y'all, this is impossible. So thank you. I love y'all.
Congratulations. All right, before we wrap this up, Larry came over and told me that our Educator of the Year, Michelle Leindecker, is here, and she would like to come up. Oh, I'm sorry, we're out of time.
That's okay. All right, thank you. I'm not really one that likes to be in the limelight, so, but I did want to, I hope that it was mentioned that I was at my Tiny T-Bird School graduation. That's why I couldn't be here. So my heart really was in two different places. And although I'm the one who's accepting the award as Educator of the Year, I have had so many incredible educators and colleagues in my career that just have inspired me and have made all the difference in who I try to be every day when I step into the classroom. And I have a whole team of people that help me do it. At my center, I have 8 teachers that work for me. Some of them were high school students that were homegrown and are now, teaching teachers' children. And then, of course, you heard from my phenomenal students and all of their achievements. They're probably my greatest inspiration. So although I'm accepting Educator of the Year, I share it with all of the Tiny T-Bird staff and also all of my amazing students who, they push me every day to be the best I can be for them. So. And of course, I couldn't do it without the support of my husband, the school administration, the governing board. I have a fan club for FCCLA and the Tiny T-Birds program. So it's my honor to accept this award.
Michelle was a finalist last year as well, so it's our honor to give it to you, Michelle, for sure. All right, before we close this up, don't forget the photo backdrop is out there. We're going to be taking pictures. Please stop and get a picture. I want to thank everyone for coming. Thank you, Dot Foods, Southwest Gas, Mojave Community College, Fontenot Law, Danielle Fontenot, the Legacy Foundation, Anderson Ford, Tri-State AC Hero, Foothills Bank, and of course, Mojave Valley Daily News and Findlay. I'd also like to thank Trevor over at Silly Cactus for these beautiful trophies. Larry, you got something you want to say?
Yes, so we did so well in this event that we are going to give $300 to every one of the youth that won, to the team, to their organization, to Mojave Valley Little League. Each and every one get $300 apiece as a grant. All you have to do is show me that you're going to continue your education. So, Educator of the Year as well for your classroom. So, thank you everyone for coming out. It has been an amazing event, and I can't wait till next year.